Citizen TV. This is Friday Night with Lillian Mooney.
Hello there, good evening, and many thanks for being with us tonight. Lots coming your way right here on Friday Night. Let's take a look at what's on Friday Night tonight.
Each of those figures has been verified thoroughly to ensure that at the point we are reporting, it is factual. Granted that every once in a while we may have a typographical error, but that is as far as it goes.
I only report facts. Controller of Budget defends damning report on plunder in counties.
Those of you who followed the Rigiji saga will remember that at some point the judiciary website, the online filing system went down. Why did the firewalls that we created before 2022 suddenly become vulnerable? And imagine what may happen in 2027.
Red flag over 2027. Supreme Court Judge Isaac Lenaola raises alarm over interference with judiciary during Gashagua's case.
I appeal to universities to allow students to sit for their end-of-semester examination while awaiting the resumption of full disbursements.
President Ruto says his administration will stick with the controversial new higher education funding model. Relief for workers at public sugar mills. Government disburses 564 million shillings to cater for their salary arrears. Good evening once again. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Belinda Adhiambo. Supreme Court Judge Justice Isaac Lenaola has blasted the executive and parliament for laxity in reconstituting. Let's take a look at that. In reconstituting the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission and instead prioritizing political legislation at the expense of laws that affect the citizens directly. And speaking when he attended the regional conference on the use of artificial intelligence, digital and social media in elections in Kenya, Lenaola questioned the timing of the failure of the judiciary e-filing system during the hearing of the impeachment case against the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and the readiness of the system to handle important matters. Emmanuel Tor reports.
In an explosive presentation during the regional conference on the use of AI, digital and social media during elections in Kenya held in Nairobi, the Supreme Court judge took the government head-on for its failures thus far, raising questions on the country's current state without IEBC commissioners, almost 2 years since the occupants left office.
I don't understand why, for example, we are busy passing legislation very quickly on other subjects that are politically important, but we don't look at what is extremely important for this country. The Electoral Commission. How can a country like ours stand on its feet if it does not have an Electoral Commission? Elections are in 2027. This is 2024. When will this commission be prepared?
Lenaola raising an alarm over the timing of the malfunction experienced in the judiciary's e-filing system when the impeachment case against the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua was underway.
Those of you who followed the Rigiji saga will remember that at some point the judiciary website, the online filing system, went down. I want you to carry this question into 2027. Why did that online platform collapse? Why did the firewalls that we created before 2022 suddenly become vulnerable? And imagine what may happen in 2027. I will say no more, but think about it.
The judiciary experienced a system outage that affected 3 key platforms used in legal processes when the case was ongoing, affecting the e-filing system, the case tracking system, and the course list system.
By the way, I'm one of those judges who's not limited in expressing my mind. So you not expect me to say Parliament has done wrong, the President has not done. I speak my mind because
the judge rallying Kenyans to stand up and force the reconstitution of the polls body to allow them enjoy their democratic rights.
Why don't we, for example, have a hashtag, appoint IEBC? Now, and spread it. Those who have opportunity will actually follow it, and they will do something. Why is social media, why is the IEBC not being constituted? Because as a new counterpoint, they are representative to the panel. Is that something to hold a country hostage for 2 years?
Not much has been done to assess the impact of AI, social media in the electoral process. The challenges posed by deepfakes, misinformation, disinformation, and the misuse of digital platforms highlight the urgent need for the collaboration among governments, civil society, technology companies, and fact-checkers.
The sentiments by the judge comes as the country continues to operate without IEBC commissioners, less than 3 years to the next polls, with the election, which is a continuous process, in limbo, with by-elections in 11 electoral units and the delimitation of boundaries lagging behind. Emmanuel To, Citizen TV, Nairobi.
And on the accountability front, the Controller of Budget, Dr. Margaret Nyakango, says a report from her office on funds used by counties that highlighted the lack of development-related expenditure in some counties and the running of numerous accounts by counties is factual. Dr. Nyakango says the information in the report emanated from the counties. Governors had faulted her office for what they termed as inaccuracy, especially on development expenditure. Brenda Wanga had a chat with the Controller of Budget.
The first quarterly report of the Controller of Budget for the financial year 2024-2025 had flagged 10 counties that did not spend any money on development under review. Dr. Nyakango says she stands by her team's report.
Each of those figures has been verified thoroughly to ensure that at the point we are reporting, it is factual. Granted that every once in a while we may have a typographical error, but that is as far as it goes. As far as the content is, we report factual figures confirmed both from the counties and from IFMIS.
The release of the report prompting governors to defend their respective units over spending trends.
As a matter of fact, counties received 0 exchequer releases from the National Treasury during the quarter reviewed under that report.
Nyakango says all counties had received funds for the months of July and August. She says it was up to the counties to decide how and where to spend these funds.
But many counties, again, because I may not tell you the specific ones, were unable to access this money because they didn't have a budget. Those that had a budget went ahead then to apply it to those bills that they had carried forward from the previous year. Those who gave preference to recurrent expenditure then did not report anything on development.
The report also raised issues concerning the multiple bank accounts that some counties have. The governors justifying this.
All accounts opened and operated by the county governments are lawful based on the following.
According to Nyakango, there is no limit to the number of bank accounts a county can open and operate. She says there are established accounts that are mandatory and domiciled at the CBK, but the operational accounts are where the lines get blurred. She calls for accountability and transparency.
So the reason why we are asking these questions are very valid. We need to know who operates these accounts and what are the activities around these bank accounts. Yeah? I'm happy that the governors feel that we need to do something about these bank accounts, because we cannot have total strangers operating bank accounts right under our noses and not be worried about it.
She warns that multiple accounts could become conduits for corruption. Brenda Wanga, Citizen TV.
And Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga has walked back on his statement, alluding to a coercion of devolved units to join the National Equipment Service Program. Speaking today, Governor Mutahi indicated that he was misquoted, as he meant that individual counties were not consulted, but the devolved units were involved in the process through the Council of Governors. This comes a day after a tough-talking President William Ruto threw salvos at the governors, saying they had willingly signed the CMS contracts. 34 counties have so far signed the contract where service providers will equip hospitals as they charge the National Insurance Authority for the services given.
The confusion might have come because the Senate was addressing Nyeri as a county. And I said clearly, even Kisii, Baringo and any other county was not involved as a county, but was involved through the Council of Governors, whom we mandated. As of now, I would speak as the Vice Chair of the Council of Governors and ask that this one is the very best program for us now. Let us stop saying it is shrouded in mystery. It is not.
On the education front, President William Ruto says the new university's funding model is here to stay and that challenges facing the model will be addressed to speedily ensure its ultimate success. And as Francis Mtalaki reports, the president has appealed to universities to allow students to sit the end of semester exams pending full release of the pending disbursements.
The trumpets of academic excellence as Scott Christian University marked the 59th graduation ceremony in Machakos County. On this day, President William Ruto had a special message to ease the growing anxiety regarding challenges in the rollout of the new university funding model, saying the model is here to stay.
I am deliberate, I am intentional, and I am focused on making sure that we have a model that does not again take our university education to where we have it with 120 billion debt.
Kenya has been facing a potential education crisis occasioned by financial shortfalls across most public universities. Ruto acknowledged that of all the 40 public universities, 23 were technically bankrupt and that the funding model offers the most strategic long-term solution to avoid the potential crisis.
I have worked with all the vice chancellors to make sure that we have a model that makes university education accessible but puts it on a sound financial footing.
The president indicated that the government will closely monitor the uptake of higher education laws board HELB with the timely repayments to ensure more potential learners benefit from the new funding model.
The spirit of human consideration is especially critical given the additional challenge posed by litigation, which could disrupt the implementation of the model. Therefore, I appeal to universities to allow students to sit for their end of semester examination while awaiting the resumption of full disbursements once the process gives direction on the matter.
And for the crisis facing the higher education sector,
it was not right because we were responsible for the huge debt of 460 million owed to this university. And it is the reason why it cannot be business as usual.
Francis Mtalaki, Citizen TV.
And now a debatable issue here where Kenyans are raising eyebrows over members of Parliament's decision to travel by train to Mombasa for the East African Community Interparliamentary Sports Games, with many questioning whether the move will actually save public funds. The Speaker of the National Assembly revealed that ordinarily the round-trip cost for each MP's business class ticket is a staggering 70,000 Kenya shillings, and that SGR travel would reduce on public spending. Melita Oletenges reports.
Members of Parliament traded their usual flights for the train as they headed out to Mombasa for the East African Parliamentary Sports Games. While the shift is unusual, the Speaker of the National Assembly defends the decision, claiming it's a necessary step to curb public spending.
We did consciously decide as Parliament that to join the rest of Kenyans in observing the austerity measures set in place by His Excellency the President.
Some MPs hopped on the premium VIP coach, which costs 12,000 shillings, while others opted for the first-class coach at 4,500 shillings. That means the maximum amount one MP could spend on transport to Mombasa and back is 24,000 shillings. On Jambojet, a one-way ticket from Nairobi to Mombasa averages 16,000 shillings, while a return trip is estimated at around 29,000 shillings. On the Kenya Airways website, business class tickets cost 34,000 shillings one way, with return trips priced at around 60,000 shillings. The breakdown for the return trip of an estimated 50 MPs on SGR would cost 1.2 million, on Jambojet 1.4 million, and Kenya Airways 3 million shillings.
Kama speaker ninalipiwa business class shilingi 70,000 kwenda na kurudi. Kwa SGR nafikiri tunalipa 10,000 ngapi? 10,000.
However, air tickets booked 1 or 2 months in advance are much cheaper. MPs argue that apart from observing austerity measures, they should occasionally experience a train journey to better understand the realities faced by the public.
In future, let members of parliament use some of these public facilities, because we cannot build these facilities for other Kenyans, and as leaders we don't use them.
Parliament is one of the biggest supporters of KQ. We use it a lot. This time round, let us also support Kenya Railways.
MPs are expected to participate in the Inter-Parliamentary Games, which will conclude on December 17th. However, a group of MPs travelling from Tanzania by bus were involved in a road accident, resulting in 16 MPs being injured. Earlier this year, President William Ruto announced that the government would reduce travel expenditure to minimize the use of public resources. These austerity measures build on previous government efforts. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta introduced the use of more affordable Passat vehicle models to help curb government spending. It did not seem to catch on. Melita Oletenges, Citizen TV.
Let's get your thoughts on this. Our SMS feedback number is 22422 and the hashtag is Friday Night. What do you think about this move? Sustainable? Will this happen going forward, or what do we expect to see going forward? We'd like to hear your thoughts. Now, flood victims in Nyando will wait longer for reprieve from the raging waters as the government restructures funding for the Korusoin Dam. Speaking in Kisumu on Friday, Water CS Eric Muga indicated that works at the dam had stalled due to financial constraints as the government is unable to raise the 19 billion shillings required. The project had also faced hurdles as hundreds of residents sought compensation before the works begin. According to the National Disaster Operations Center, more than 3,500 households countrywide have been affected by the floods, with 12 fatalities recorded.
We're also trying to change the conversation with development partners to ask them, when they are funding us for the project, let them also fund us for acquisition of land. So it's the same process, same criteria that we take all over. Value the land, National Land Commission does their job, and then we request Treasury to finance these activities.
And some reprieve here after the National Treasury has disbursed a total of 564 million shillings to settle salary arrears for workers in the 4 state-owned sugar factories. The disbursement comes amidst an uproar by the workers who had earlier decried alleged government negligence as they were left behind in the series of bailouts issued in the sugar subsector. And as Laura Otieno reports, the move has been welcomed by industry players who said it comes as a fulfillment of the promise by the president to introduce radical reforms in the production of sugar.
There seems to be white smoke billowing from the chambers of Kenya's sugar subsector after the National Treasury released 546 million shillings to settle arrears owed to workers in public sugar factories. In a letter dated 5th September, Agriculture PS Kiprono Rono directed the Agriculture and Food Authority to distribute 150 million shillings to Chemelil, Muhoroni and Sony sugar factories, with the remaining 96 million shillings to be channeled towards payment of 1 month's salary to workers at Nzoia Sugar Factory, as well as settling maintenance costs.
We know the beneficiaries, the employees have suffered enough. They have been waiting for this money. For example, Chemelil are actually owed to the tune of 48 months, which I think is almost more than 3 years. And therefore, I'm sure getting this money is going to be a boost.
During the State of the Nation address in November, President William Ruto indicated that the country's domestic sugar production in the month of July stood at 84,000 metric tons. In previous tours of the Western region, the President announced the implementation of a raft of reforms, including the enactment of the Sugar Act that has seen the re-establishment of the Kenya Sugar Board.
When this part of the payment arrears is now cleared, we are now geared actually to leasing out these sugar factories, which what is now holding us is only the court case, which is still there. But we hope for the best that court case will be over, and therefore there will be proper reforms as was promised by His Excellency the President.
In 2023, the Cabinet approved the writing off of a ballooning debt of 117 billion shillings owed by public-owned sugar mills. The debts included loans, tax arrears, as well as dues owed to farmers and factory workers. Laura Otieno, Citizen TV.
In remembrance of police officers killed in the line of duty, it has emerged that the number of police and prison officers who have died in the line of duty this year has decreased compared to last year. The nation has lost 29 officers this year, down from 37 last year, and most of those killed this year died as a result of terrorist attacks and livestock theft raids, while 2 officers were killed following an attack by members of the public, an act strongly condemned by Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, who is also the acting Interior Cabinet Secretary. Mudavadi was leading a ceremony to honor police officers who have fallen in the line of duty, as Willie Lusige reports.
It was a morning filled with sorrow and grief, with tears flowing from widows, relatives and friends of police officers who lost their lives while on duty. Benson Deritu Mwangi arrived here to mourn his 29-year-old son, who passed away in November in the early days of his service with the police department. His dream was cut short by an attack by suspected Al-Shabaab militants in Mandera County.
Famiwa akapigwa risasi na majangiri, na mimi nawaita ni waoga. Juu sasa mtu kupiga risasi 17 anaonesha yeye ni mwoga.
Led by Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi, it was an emotional Friday at Embakasi Administration Police Training College as families gathered to remember their loved ones who lost their lives while defending and protecting the country. The number of officers who died this year has decreased from 37 officers who were killed last year, 2023.
We are gathered here in solemn remembrance of 29 gallant officers who died in the line of duty during the past 1 year.
Most of the officers who were killed this year were attacked by suspected Al-Shabaab militants, particularly in the northeastern region. Others were killed by livestock thieves. However, it was saddening that 2 officers were killed after being attacked by members of public while on duty. One of them was trying to rescue young girls from undergoing FGM in Elgeyo Marakwet.
Have characters within us who take it upon themselves to take away their lives. I think we need to really call on all of us as a country and ask, where is our nationhood? Where is our patriotism?
Despite the government's promise to offer additional job opportunities to widows and orphans of fallen officers in the police service, there is also a veteran bill in the works to fast-track compensation and improve working conditions for police officers.
6 widows and 3 orphans were recruited during the last cohort.
A list of the fallen officers' names was also officially unveiled at this memorial site as a tribute to their sacrifice in protecting the country. Even though the number of police officers who have died in their line of duty has reduced compared to the previous years, it still highlights the extent of the risk that they undertake while protecting the nation, posing a significant challenge to the government to ensure their safety as they protect civilians. Willie Lusige, Citizen TV.
That report by Willie bringing us to our very first break right here on Friday night, but there's lots more coming your way. Let's take a look. New laws to curb pollution. Environment CS Eden Dwale says manufacturers of harmful plastics will be targeted in bid to preserve environment.
As a parent, you want your little one to experience all that life offers. To touch the world with an open heart and curious mind. But the world, for all its beauty, holds unseen dangers. Germs, bacteria, tiny threats, waiting on every surface. Dettrex protects you and your family from disease-causing germs. That's why I choose Dettrex. Allowing the freedom to be yourself all day long.
Dettrex, endorsed by Kenya Progressive Nurse Association. Bidhaa bora kutoka Pwani Oil Limited.
These days, you have to shop smart as everything is so expensive. I shop smart. I always get a good bargain when I buy my mbogas from Mama Chege. I shop smart. I buy the 1 kg of Msafi, which costs the same as 500 grams of a popular detergent. I shop smart. Msafi removes tap stains and keeps clothes bright. And its pleasant fragrance keeps clothes smelling fresh. Chaguo smart, value maradufu, na Msafi.
New Downy perfume collection. Sometimes I need a scent to keep me calm amongst the chaos, or a light fragrance that keeps me fresh in the heat, or a perfume that feels elegant all day and into the night, lasting longer than expensive perfumes. New Downy, lavender calm, sunrise fresh, and sweet elegance, freshness that inspires confidence. Your dreams have come true. Try it for only 20 shillings.
Great yummy taste, gotta hack it. I spread bread, pate nguvu, gotta pack it. Napaka nyweki design ya mokoro. Blue Band, Juni natural cocoa. 5 vitamins, una grow plus ni tam nani tuna hack na ki Blue Band choco for your growth.
Kick off the festivities in Dubai na View Travel. Join our December 13th, 2024 fixed departure and enjoy an exciting half-day city tour, desert safari with dinner, Dhow cruise, breakfast, round-trip flights, airport transfers and visa processing included. All these and more in 5 days starting from $1,055 USD per person sharing. Book now. Limited slots available. Visit viewtravel.com or call and WhatsApp 0703 254 254. View Travel. Dream. Explore. Discover.
New Downy refill pouches, lasting longer than expensive perfumes. Cut, store, and no need to add water. Serve with a Downy refill.
Kote nchini mbele tuendelee mbele Kenya twende mbele
Kenya twende mbele NCBA, go for it.
chukua hii nyokumunya, itakuponya koo iwe safi kabisa.
Kaluma. Hata shosha yangu alikuwa anatumia Kaluma.
Unaweza amini Kaluma kila saa. Kaluma ni timeless.
Mzee mmoja alitamani kitu rohoni mwake. Kitu kimoja kikubwa Christmas hii. Kuwa familia yake ije na upendo. Ije na furaha tele. Furaha hiyo ienee zaidi kote. Tabasamu ya Krismasi kwa wote. Sambaza furaha hii Krisi, tuje pamoja kwa upendo.
Sama Simba la Masimba Dangote Diamond Platinums. The Wasafi Queen Zuchu. Vivani Boy Rayvani. The Caribbean Queen Itana. And the ever so amazing Viri the Storyteller.
10 over 10 every Friday, 10 p.m.
Sipendezeu na kuachana, hata Mungu pia ndio aliyetufundisha kwamba tusiachane.
I have lost everything.
And whose fault is that?
Dajukiz, mama yako alikufundisha kupika. Na mimi nikakufundisha kuendesha gari. Gari hili ni lako.
Soko, more than a meal.
Your skin naturally connects with nature and recognizes the goodness of native ingredients, which is why AfriSense Toning Bathing Bar is packed with African ingredients. AfriSense, discover the secrets of African beauty for your skin.
Welcome back. The Senate Committee on Delegated Legislation has ratified 7 regulations presented by Environment Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale under the Environmental Management and Coordination Act and the Sustainable Waste Management Act aimed at curbing the plastic waste menace in the country. The regulations include extended producer responsibility, where industry players will take responsibility should trash from their products be found polluting the environment. This means that manufacturers will have a big part to play in the conservation of the environment.
If we find a package, for example, a milk producing company like Brookside or Coca-Cola bottle in that river as a waste, we will not go and deal with the Kenyan who bought that thing. We will look for the producer. And that is not even the Coca-Cola franchise in Kenya. We will look for the brand owner. The brand owner will be forced by NEMA to go and clean that section of the river, that section of the environment that is being destroyed. This item called extended producer responsibility happens everywhere in the world, and now we are leaders in the climate change.
And it was also in Chokaa, Roy, Utawala Pipeline and Kitengela after the Sambaza Furaha and Safaricom caravan landed in the areas with goodies. The tour, which is part of the 5-week caravan to interact with customers and hand over Christmas gifts in partnership with Royal Media Services, saw the opening of 3 more Safaricom shops to bring services close to Kenyans.
A charged crowd welcomed the Sambaza Furaha na Safaricom team as it made its way to different parts of the city. Chokaa, Ruai, Utawala and Pipeline residents coming out in large numbers to receive goodies from Safaricom. The celebrations to mark 24 years of Safaricom existence came with plenty of goats, chicken, phones, umbrellas and t-shirts, among other gifts.
Safaricom wamekuwa more cheaper, especially tukipiga in calls, SMSs, wako very fair. M-Pesa, chances yake for example, nikituma shilingi 100 ni bure, bilash. Hakuna chances yoyote.
M-Pesa imetutoa mbali. Nyakati za nyuma bila M-Pesa tumehangaika sana, money order nini, pesa hazifiki, lakini Mungu ni mkubwa, Safaricom imetusaidia sana.
The caravan later made its way to Mlolongo, Athi River and Kitengela. Radio presenters from Royal Media Services made the day a success as they engaged their fans.
Would like our customers to be extra careful to ensure that they keep their PIN, M-Pesa PIN, safe, because Safaricom will never ask any customer to share with them their PIN. And when any fraudster attempts to do that, Safaricom customers should call or send a message to 333.
Kupiga simu, we are the cheapest kwa sababu kuna big offer inaitwa Tunikiwa, where you 20 bob, you can call for 3 hours and you enjoy almost 100 minutes. Just as one of the many. We have home offers at 25% off.
Maana ni Christmas, tunakuja tumebeba mengi. Tumebeba mbuzi kibao, tumebeba kuku, tumebeba airtime, t-shirts, kofia, zawadi kubwa tuuza kuhakikisha kuwa ujumbe wa kusambaza furaha na Safaricom Kikrisi inakuwa kwa sauti kubwa na kwa njia kubwa na jinsi ambavyo inafaa.
It was not just about gifts and dance, but also bringing services closer to residents by opening new Safaricom shops. On Saturday, the caravan will tour Kiserian, Rongai and Ngong. Gatete Njoroge, Citizen TV.
All right, we are going to be talking business in just a bit. Let's take a look at what's coming up in business.
When central bank raised the policy rate, the banks were very quick to raise their lending rates. All we are asking is for the banks to be fair.
CBK lowers benchmark lending rate for 3rd time in a row, even as most banks fail to lower their rates to customers.
As a parent, you want your little one to experience all that life offers. To touch the world with an open heart and curious mind. But the world, for all its beauty, holds unseen dangers. Germs, bacteria, tiny threats, waiting on every surface. Dettrex protects you and your family from disease-causing germs. That's why I choose Dettrex. Allowing the freedom to be yourself all day long.
Dettrex, endorsed by Kenya Progressive Nurse Association. Bidhaa bora kutoka Pwani Oil Limited.
Some things huwa hazichange, kama kujenga mwili na kuharibu jina.
Wacha kujaza chakula kwa mdomo, hakuna mahali kinaenda.
Naam, some things huwa hazichange. Rina, 30 years, the story's tamu.
This holiday season, Citizen Duka na Quickmart tunakuletea mama mpenzi basket na deals kibao. Isitoshe, Sasa unachagua kile unataka kurusha kwa basket yako. Zote kwa discounts nono. Imagine sugar 2 kgs at 269 from 279. Chapati flour 2 kgs at 139 from 169. Cooking oil 3 liters at 899 from 1060. Basmati rice 2 kg at 699 from 767. 4-pack tissue white at 159 from 186. Bar soap 800 grams at 159 from 200. Dial star 487 star 5 hash to select your item and buy straight from your phone. Once you receive your code, pick up your shopping from any Quickmart supermarket near you. Simple, fast, and super convenient. Other baskets on their offer include Mama Soko, Sherehe, and Daily. Citizen Duka, making your celebrations more sweeter.
When you've gotta go for Neptune, the softer 2-ply tissue paper, available in plain white and colored.
Enroll for the January 2025 intake at Precious Gems School, where we nurture and inspire young minds to reach their full potential. With 2 campuses in Ongata Rongai and Twala, we offer an innovative approach to CBC curriculum, fostering excellence academically and personally. As one of the top performing schools, we provide countless opportunities for your child to discover and develop their unique talents in a safe and nurturing environment. Call us on 0796 522 622.
The Crazy Store Kenya is officially open. Come and see thousands of opening offers, Christmas decoration, end-of-year gifts, household items, party items, toys, and so much more. We are located at Runda Mall along Kiambu Road and MyTown Mall opposite Karen Hospital. At the Crazy Store Kenya, you'll enjoy exceptional service, good variety, the best shopping experience, as well as a free gift when you shop. We are happy to collaborate with Moya David. Come meet him as you shop and he will surprise you with free gifts. The Crazy Store Kenya, a surprise for everybody.
When your kids learn to be independent, you're giving them a great start. Prestige Margarine. It all starts with a great start. Now comes in the original and vanilla flavor.
Devki Steel Mill's state-of-the-art factory produces durable steel purely from iron ore. The Devki Next Generation TMT Bars BS Grade 600 MPa is at the core of skyscrapers, bungalows, and bridges. Don't compromise on safety. Insist on Devki Next Generation TMT Bars BS Grade 600 MPa, the first of its kind in Kenya with extra strength. Devki Steel Mills. Buy Kenya, build Kenya.
Kenya, are you ready? Apostle Peter Manyuru of Jesus Teaching Ministry Nairobi invites you for a special prophetic healing and deliverance service on Sunday.
I prophesy. You will go far in Jesus' name.
Amen. We are located along Manyanja Road next to Harambe Sacco in Donholm, Nairobi. Come and receive your blessings and miracles.
When I have back pain, I reach for 2 tablets of Panadol Extra. It's boosted by caffeine for fast relief of strong pain, like headache, toothache, and muscle pain. And I am finally released from pain and ready to be there for those who need me. Try Panadol Extra for fast and effective relief from strong pain.
Experience Swiss-based education in the heart of Nairobi. With practical hands-on skills, we prepare you for the dynamic world of culinary arts and patisserie or international hospitality management. Travel the world and gain global work through our international placement network as you shape your career as the next global future leader in hospitality. Welcome to the Boma International Hospitality College. January 2025 intake ongoing.
Only the safest. Screened with metal detectors to make sure nothing is left behind during manufacturing. Only the best cotton, combed to make it soft on the softest skin. Only superior trims, like nickel-free non-ferrous poppers. The only sleep suits to choose. Woolies Babes Cotton Sleep Suits. Now only 960 shillings each when you buy 2.
In each one of us, there lies great potential to achieve much in our career path. At Mount Kenya University, we equip you with skills and competence to achieve your career dreams by offering you quality, affordable, and accessible higher education. Join us in this exciting journey in order to unlock your potential. We are ready for you. Are you ready for us? Mount Kenya University, unlocking infinite possibilities.
Mzee mmoja alitamani kitu rohoni mwake. Kitu kimoja kikubwa Christmas hii. Kuwa familia yake ije na upendo. Ije na furaha tele. Furaha hiyo ienee zaidi kote. Tabasamu ya Christmas kwa wote. Sambaza furaha. Hii Krisi, tuje pamoja kwa upendo.
Naitwa Dominic Machuka Obori. Nilijoin APSA mwaka 1984. Branch yangu ilikuwa Bioneer House. Mungu amenibariki, nilipata watoto wawili mapacha. Niliwafungulia account, chuni accounts. Ile wakati walifika kwenda high school, ikawa nishaweka pesa ya kutosha ya kuwasomesha. Nilipigiwa simu na branch manager akaniambia kwamba nimeshinda $1,000,000. Sasa officially nilienda nikaambia mke wangu, nafikiri tuko na pesa mzuri, tuko account safi, tunaweza endelea za miradi yetu. Hata nitaenda nitafuta wale marafiki zangu na watoto wangu wengine wale hawajafungua account, wafungua account na APSA.
Sipendezeo na kuachana, hata Mungu pia ndio aliyetufundisha kwamba tusiachane.
I have lost everything.
And whose fault is that?
Dajukiz, mama yako alikufundisha kupika. Na mimi nikakufundisha kuendesha gari. Gari hili ni lako.
Soko, more than a meal.
Sema Simba la Masimba Dangote Diamond Platinums. The Wasafi Queen Zuchu. Vivani Boy Rayvani. The Caribbean Queen Itana. And the ever so amazing Viri the Storyteller.
10 over 10 every Friday, 10 p.m.
Your skin naturally connects with nature and recognizes the goodness of native ingredients, which is why AfriSense Toning Bathing Bar is packed with African ingredients. AfriSense. Discover the secrets of African beauty for your skin.
This is me at Stanbic Private Banking. What does it feel like? It's investing skillfully. It's planning wisely. It's living joyfully. It's banking easily. Visit www.stanbic.co.ke. Stanbic Bank is regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya.
Let's talk business. The Central Bank of Kenya has reduced the benchmark lending rate by a further 75 basis points to 11.25%, marking its third rate cut this year. CBK Governor Dr. Kamau Thuge has urged commercial banks to lower their lending rates following this adjustment. The call comes just weeks after a meeting between the CBK and bank CEOs aimed at addressing sustained high lending rates. Jasmine Wumboy reports.
At its final Monetary Policy Committee meeting of the year, the central bank has cut the base lending rate to 11.25%. The CBK says that this decision has been prompted by cooling inflation, a relatively stable currency, and a slowed economy for the first 6 months of the year. However, the regulator has raised concerns that despite successive rate cuts, commercial banks in the country remain reluctant to extend the benefit to borrowers.
Certainly, the banks have been sluggish in lowering their lending rates. And as you know, I've had meetings with the banks. The last 2 weeks ago, we had a meeting with all the CEO of banks. And I do believe that they understand the need now to start lowering aggressively interest rates that they charge to consumers.
Credit growth to Kenya's private sector has been under pressure, showing signs of stagnation. Banks across the country had initially argued against lowering interest rates, saying that rates on deposits had gone up, meaning they were unable to cut lending rates.
The situation has reversed. The 91-day Treasury bill, which was around 16% only a few months ago, is now at 10.45%. And they should translate that cost of funding. Those savings should now go to reducing their lending rates so that we can start really giving more credit to the private sector, maybe less to government, and so we can really stimulate economic activity and start generating some jobs.
The Monetary Policy Committee will sit again come February next year. Jasmine Wambui, Citizen TV.
Kenya has officially launched the Timbuktu Green Tech Hub and the Africa Center of Competence for Digital and Artificial Intelligence Skilling at Konza Technopolis. Presiding over the event, President William Ruto urged the continent to embrace innovation and technology as tools for solving challenges and improving service delivery. The initiative is a collaboration between the ICT Ministry, Konza Technopolis, and the United Nations Development Programme. The hub is set to drive advancement in renewable energy, waste management, and water conservation, key areas in mitigating the impact of climate change.
These initiatives showcase the immense transformative potential we possess and the opportunity to define and deliver the Africa we want in alignment with Agenda 2063, the Pact for the Future, and the Global Digital Compact. These facilities will go a long way towards addressing digital divides, providing viable models for implementing digital sector transformation strategies, and thirdly, paving the way for a sustainable human-centered technological future.
Indeed, the future of development is in Africa. We believe so. And this tech-enabled innovation at scale is key to unleashing and realizing this potential across the continent, Your Excellency.
The East Africa Governing Council of Ministers operating under the Desert Locust Control Organization has expressed concerns over the rising occurrences of migratory pests in the region. The council warns that these pests pose a significant threat to food security, particularly during the ongoing rainy season. Speaking during the 69th session held in Mombasa, the regional body urged member states to adopt innovative strategies to combat transboundary pests. They say farmers risk losing their produce to birds, locusts and other pests if effective measures are not implemented. The Governing Council's Vice Chairman Azad Abdirazak Mohammed emphasized the need for enhanced research, monitoring and forecasting to address the challenges.
The role of DLCO East Africa in controlling the transboundary pests that pose a threat to food security in the region and beyond. Reiterated the need for the organization to transform and modernize its operations in migratory pest control. Recognized the seriousness of other emerging migratory pests in the region. Recognized the need to review and update the DLCO East Africa Convention in order to be able to address the current emerging challenges of migratory pests in the region.
Airtel Kenya has extended its campaign dubbed Rudishwa. The campaign allows customers to get cash back of up to 50% in the form of airtime for using the Airtel Pay bill for transactions and an opportunity to take home rewards. Airtel is seeking to enhance customer convenience when paying for services such as electricity, water and online services. The campaign runs throughout the festive season, giving customers a seamless, convenient payment experience.
What we are launching today is to say, if you pay through Airtel Money on that pay bill and click Airtel Pay Bill, because on *334# you will see two options, Airtel Pay Bill or the other pay bills. Click on Airtel Pay Bill. Any amount that you make on that Airtel Pay Bill, we give you 50% of your transaction fee back as airtime. It's bigger, it's better, and it's every single time you make the transaction.
This is me at Stanbic Private Banking. What does it feel like? It's investing skillfully. It's planning wisely. It's living joyfully. It's banking easily. Visit www.stanbic.co.ke. Stanbic Bank is regulated by the Central Bank of Kenya.
Time for us to take another very short break, but we're back with all the day sports in just a bit. This is what the sports CS had to say. That's coming up on the sports. Take a look.